Super Bowl, Larams defeats Cincinnati Bangladeshi. The headline writers will talk of a Hollywood ending, but the head coach Sean McVay will be hoping that this is just the beginning of a new era in Los Angeles after his decision to bring Matthew Stafford to the LA Rams paid off at the first opportunity. The 34-year-old quarterback, in his first season on the West Coast, threw for 283 yards and 3 touchdowns and overcame the loss of one of his star receivers to lead his team to a 23-20 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. It was the Rams' first Super Bowl as an LA franchise. However, for all the talk of their win-now recruitment process over the past 12 months, of which Stafford was the centerpiece, this was a victory thanks to two men who had been in the building for a combined 12 years. Kupp, who was drafted by the Rams in 2017, can now add Super Bowl MVP to his CV after scoring the decisive touchdown with less than 90 seconds remaining. It gave him 8 catches, 92 yards and 2 touchdowns on the night. However, Stafford and Kupp were only taking advantage of the platform that the defense gave them by sacking Joe Burrow, the Bengals quarterback, 7 times. Aaron Donald, a 2014 first-round pick, was responsible for 2 of those. A year after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers became the first team to win the Super Bowl in their home stadium, the Rams have done the same, but at times the noise from the 70,048 crowd would have made them feel they were the away team. When Stafford was sacked on the opening drive, it became clear that it was the Bengals who had the backing of the majority of the fans. That's what 3 decades without a Super Bowl appearance can do to a fan base desperate to watch them succeed. But the Rams did their best to silence them, opening the scoring with a 17-yard touchdown pass from Stafford to Odell Beckham Jr. in the corner. It came after a drive on which the Bengals had failed to convert on 4th down near center field. That in itself showed admirable intent, if a little naivety from Zac Taylor, the Bengals head coach, in his first Super Bowl. Kupp got the second touchdown of the game, finding himself in yards of space in the back corner of the end zone to round off a 75-yard drive in little over 2.5 minutes after Evan McPherson's right boot had put the Bengals on the scoreboard, to make it 13-3. It may have been 33 years since the Bengals were in the Super Bowl, but it was 41 since they had scored an offensive touchdown, and they got back in the game by breaking that run. But it was not the arm of Burrow that gave the Bengals a way back into the game, but more bravery from Taylor that this time paid off. The head coach called for a trick play that involved the quarterback tossing the ball to his running back Joe Mixon, who threw to Higgins, the wide receiver, in the end zone. Mixon is the first running back to throw a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl since Lawrence NcCutchen did so for the Rams against the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1980. On the next drive came another blow to the Rams. As Stafford threw a short pass to an open Beckham, the receiver had to check his run and his knee buckled, wrong-footed by a throw that was marginally behind him. It was the same knee in which he tore an ACL in October 2020. He would not return to the game, and with him went the Rams' momentum, as Stafford threw an interception to Jesse Bates 5 plays later. Then the lights went down and the stars came out for the halftime show, but the moment that would have been most music to the Rams fans' ears was the announcer reminding them that with McVay as the head coach, their side had a 45-1 record when leading at halftime. Make that 46-1. All good Hollywood blockbusters need a moment of adversity for the protagonists to overcome, and Super Bowl 56 delivered in the most dramatic way possible. If the halftime show, featuring Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, and a surprise show from 50 Cent, had been designed to celebrate all things Los Angeles, it had a galvanizing effect on their opponents, perhaps buying into their role as the nominated home team. On the very first play of the second half, Burrow connected with Higgins for a 75-yard touchdown that could easily have been called back for pass interference. But there were no flags on the play, and the Bengals fans made a noise even greater than the one that had greeted each of the musical superstars at halftime. It was not long till the roar was heard once more as Stafford was picked off by Chidobe Awuzie, the cornerback. The tide was at least stemmed briefly by Donald getting to Burrow, who finished with 263 yards and a touchdown for the sack. However, the ever-reliable McPherson, who had watched the halftime show from out on the field, kicked his 14th goal of the postseason, tying Adam Vinatieri's league record. More importantly, it gave the Bengals a 20-13 lead. The Rams narrowed that to 20-16 thanks to a Matt Gay field goal, before 7 drives in a row ended in punt. Despite his lack of achievements in his 12 years with the Detroit Lions, Stafford's quality and composure have never been in doubt. It's why McVay wanted him, and he needed both when he got the ball back in his hands with 6.13 remaining. Kupp was suddenly everywhere, catching passes and taking handoffs as the Rams moved down the field and into the red zone by the 2-minute warning. A holding penalty on Logan Wilson gave the Rams a first down at the 4-yard line with 1.38 to go. A pass interference call moved them 3 yards closer with another first down. The dramatic denouement that the scriptwriters would have wanted was fast approaching, and sure enough Stafford found Kupp in the endzone, before the extra point gave them a 23-20 lead.